Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your reading for the week of February 6th through 12th, 2024. This is a reading for you if you are Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising, or have some other significant Capricorn placement in your chart. If you are new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you here. I hope you find this reading helpful, and I hope that it resonates with you. If you are returning to this channel, welcome back. Oh, I'm dropping cards here. I hope, again, as always, I do hope that this reading is helpful, and the fact that you have returned, that you are finding these readings useful to you. To everybody, new members, and those who are joining me for the first time, if you do like these videos, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel, and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any videos. I have descriptions down in the description box below. I have links to my PayPal tip jar donations, if that is something that interests you, which obviously nobody's obligated, but that is there for those of you who are interested. And thank you to those of you who do tip. I also have a link to my website, which is called Liminal Reiki. My business is called Transition Life Coaching. It is my spiritual coaching business. That deals in, not only tarot, but Reiki, human design, astrology, and mentoring and things like that. So if that is of interest to you, that's also down in the description. And also there's a link to my social media as well. So let's begin at the beginning here. I do this according to the 12 houses of astrology, and that's how I interpret the cards. I give the broadest meaning possible for these cards. So if there are aspects of this that, there's certain elements of these reading that don't apply to you. For example, in one house, if I'm talking about children and you don't have any children, then, it's probably not an aspect that applies to you. So because it's a general reading, I'm gonna keep it as broad as possible. I use the cartouche cards as my initial, for my initial reading. And I clarify these with a tarot card. And this week we are using the Angel Tarot from Travis McHenry. And I will finish up with an oracle card reading, and I'll pull an oracle card from the Fairy Oracle. Okay, so let's start at the first house of the horoscope spread, which is Aries. This is you, your personality, how you present yourself to others. And okay, you have Ankh with the Lovers. Okay, so now, again, seeing these two together, it's quite possible that some of you are, in fact, in love, just with this particular combination. And so the Lovers has strong Gemini energy. So sometimes the Lovers comes up when we are reflecting the personality of another. So, whatever if our partner is into certain things or behaves a certain way, maybe we're reflecting that in our behavior. If you're not in love, or if you've been, relationship for a long time and you say, no, that doesn't apply to me right now, then definitely there's a whole lot of, love, to quote Led Zeppelin, that's going on for you right now. There's definitely a sense of being impassioned about love, about life. Lovers can also indicate choices. So we may be at a point in our life where we are trying to choose the heart over the head, where we are choosing the things that really make us happy and bring us joy. So this is definitely a very joyful energy. That is certainly what you are projecting to others right now. Second house is Taurus energy. This has to do with finances, your possessions, your values. This is strong Venus energy here. And you've got the Lotus with the Ace of Pentacles. So wow, some of you, this is either a new job or a new income stream, because Ace of Pentacles definitely indicates new financial beginnings. And you have it with the Lotus. So if for some reason there's been a job loss or there's been some kind of a significant change to a job, this is saying now you can relax and not worry. Lotus always brings peace of mind and calming the mind. So either there's like new money coming in, or you are making some kind of a new start financially here that's going to ease any financial worries that you have. So that's a very good and positive omen here for you. Third house is Third house is Gemini energy. I'm doing this for Capricorn. This is Gemini energy. This has to do with messages, communications, short-term travel. It can have to do with sibling relationships, and if you're in your own business, this is the house of self-effort. So we have Anubis with Judgment. Okay, now, so this definitely indicates decisions that have to be made. Judgment can also indicate a situation, could be a message from a person, or maybe if it's a business, this could have to do with a legal matter. Sometimes judgment comes up with that. Maybe people are doing their taxes or something. There's definitely a legal implication here, perhaps contracts to be signed. But there's definitely, again, just like we had the choice over here in the first house with the Lovers, judgment also brings decision, but it's the decision coming from an awakened position. It's where you have information now. You have the protection here of Anubis. Anubis can mean a trip, so it can mean a short trip somewhere. Maybe in like I said, it could be connection to a business. It could be just something of significance that's related to this judgment in some way. Could have to do with again, brothers and sisters. Maybe there's something significant there, but there, but if it's not, doesn't have to do with the journey, then Anubis would definitely have to do with protection and with seeing things clearly. So I feel like with these two cards together, yeah, you're getting certain messages in right now that where you are seeing something very clearly, whether it relates to a business or again, one of those other third house interactions like sibling relationships or not. There's definitely this idea that you are waking up to something and making a decision and resolving something at this point. Yeah, and as I said, judgment sometimes does indicate people in situations that are coming back around, and sometimes reconciliations with people and things like that. So take it as it resonates. It's not necessarily going to be the case for everybody. Fourth house is Cancer energy, and Cancer has to do with your home, your environment, your family, your sense of security, sometimes with the mother as well. Yeah, Two of Wands with Hathor. Okay, the first thing that comes to mind here, because Hathor is one of the mother cards in the mother house. But it is also a house of the domestic sphere. So so Hathor to me has a very, very strong feminine connection to the home in terms of making a place cozy and making it into what you want, making a house into a home, so to speak. Okay, so there's a very strong thing about that. There could be a strongly feminine energy in your home. Whether it's you, whether it's your mother, whether it's somebody who's acting as a mother, if you're a man, this could be your wife. I mean, there's then strong feminine energy here. But we have it with the Two of Wands. So this, again, there's a suggestion. It's interesting. This is the third one I've seen where there's a decision or a choice to be made. Two of Wands comes up when we are ready to move onto the next stage of something. It's like we've been preparing for something, and now a decision needs to be made to move ahead with something. So I don't know whether this has to do with a physical move or whether this just has to do, like the first thing I thought was literally someone's making a decision regarding mom. So that may or may not be the case, but that's the first thing that jumped into my head. That's not necessarily how this is going to be interpreted for everybody. But nonetheless, again, Two of Wands to me implies decisions, a decision to get beyond the space that you're in or get beyond a situation that you're in and to move ahead. So yeah, this could be connected to family or this could literally be connected to the home. But there's definitely either this, like I said, this strong house to home energy, or this is a strong feminine energy here. So take it as it resonates. Fifth house is Leo energy. Leo has to do with creativity, with children, with love affairs. And again, whichever applies to you, if you're not single and looking for love, if you're not in a love affair or a love relationship that's, unlegalized love relationship, or if you don't have children, then obviously those aspects won't apply to you. And also, like I said, this can have to do with creative projects. Okay, so we have Thoth with the Five of Wands. This is actually the second time I've seen this this week for somebody. I can't remember the other sign that had this, but you got a double five here. So five energy is about struggle and conflict. Now, of course, Thoth can have to do with academic or writing projects. So being this is the house of creativity, for somebody, this might be connected to writing or publication. Again, it's not going to be true of everybody, but that is a possibility with this card in this house. And with Five of Wands, there could be some competition. Maybe if you're somebody who's got a book proposal together and putting it in, you're competing, with other people for something. And, so that's an element of struggle or of stress there. If you're talking about a love affair, then this could mean somebody, in which case there is a lot of competition for somebody. And you may be, so you may like somebody or maybe involved with somebody or hoping to have a relationship with somebody where you feel like you're not the only option. Yeah, the reverse could be true too. You could be the person who has a lot of options and somebody else could feel this way. But the fact that this is showing up here, I feel like there's some kind of struggle or competition or outside influence on something, whether it has to do with a love affair, whether it has to do with a child or a creative project. There definitely seems to be people getting into the mix who maybe aren't necessary. In those cases, I would feel that Thoth means, well, I don't know. Now, Thoth couldn't, okay, if this does have to do with a love relationship, then Thoth would be saying that there could be somebody who is a karmic connection. Now, I don't want to get into necessarily soulmate stuff. That is possible. But I feel like Thoth indicates somebody maybe that you're connecting with because there's some karmic tie between you. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, yeah, this is the person you're destined for, that you're going to marry. You know, maybe not. But nonetheless, it seems like a relationship may be coming up, or maybe an attraction coming up, that maybe there's something to be learned from it, okay? And if you're, like, say you're married or you're in a secure situation and you're saying, no, this has nothing to do with love for me, then nonetheless, there's definitely a situation here. It feels like there's a lesson attached, like there's some kind of a karmic thing here. Although Thoth usually has to do with karmic good turns, like the person who comes in and you get a benefit from something that you were not expecting. It can also have to do with timing and divine timing, okay? The fact that something is going to come in at the right time, something that provides healing. And with the Five of Wands, yeah, there does seem to be this kind of outside influence. But Five of Wands to me is not a very serious card. There's almost something playful about it. In fact, for some of you, in this house, this is also the house of recreation. This could be somebody who's doing a sporting competition or something. So take that as it resonates, because Five of Wands can mean like, competition on the field or something like that in this house. But there definitely seems to be something here where yeah, there's some kind of a connection where maybe you feel like you're competing with other people, or whether it has to do with a project or a connection, but there's something important about it, like it's timely. Whatever you're doing, I think, is timely. So I would say that's the more general meaning of that in this house, but you can take the other meanings if they feel like they apply. Sixth house is Virgo energy, and Virgo has to do with health, with work in terms of employment, work for other people, service. They call it the house of service. So anything that you're doing, you're being paid by somebody else. And potentially with worry. It's the house of worry, and sometimes has to do with pets as well. Now we have winged disc with justice. Now where else did I see this kind of an element here? Yeah, you had judgment over here. So I don't know if there's a legal thing going on or a contract to be signed in connection with work. Maybe you are an independent contractor. Maybe this is a new contract that's coming in. Winged disc definitely is a card of success and overcoming difficulties. This is probably one of the best cards in the cartouche deck. And, because it's the sun disc, kind of similar in energy to the sun in the tarot deck. And this would definitely indicate, things shining brightly, prospects being good. So if you are worried about something, if you are worried about a legal situation with justice, then this would definitely be saying that, not to worry, or worried about a contract, then everything's going to come out, well. If there's been any obstacles, they will be overcome. Justice here can also have to do with setting a situation right, or keeping something in balance. So justice has to do with right, making something right, with correcting something, or a truth coming out, or something being fair. So if there's a situation, again, connected to work, I don't know if this would connect to a health situation. Sometimes this could have to do with balancing. I mean, okay, as a health reading, I would say that justice would indicate keeping things in balance. So, balancing your diet, balancing diet and exercise, balancing, work-life balance, things like that. That's another possibility here. But this more strongly feels to me like it connects to either a work situation or something perhaps that you've been concerned about. And basically it's saying, contracts will be successful, or the truth about a situation or something that seems like it's not fair will be made fair, and things will be right. So that's also a good sign. You got a lot of good signs this week, Capricorn. Seventh house, this is Libra energy. So this does have to do, speaking of the scales of justice, this does have to do with legalized partnerships. So marriages, if there's somebody who you're saying, wondering about your prospects of marriage, then that would fall into this house. This would also be about any kind of, excuse me, business partnerships, things like that. So anything that involves any kind of contracts, anything like that. Okay, so you've got Pyramid with the Nine of Swords. Excuse me. It's funny because sometimes when the cough comes up when there's something significant or something that I don't know. I never know if that's kind of my voice trying to stop me from saying something, or if it's just kind of pointing out to me that this may be something of importance. But okay, so Nine of Swords indicates mental cruelty. And with the Pyramid, this indicates a test situation. So this seems to me like there's something, whether this is within a marriage or within a business partnership or related to some kind of contractual agreement, or if this is about maybe somebody you're involved with and you're wondering, if it's going to go somewhere. Nine of Swords. Okay, now if this does have to do with a relationship and you're not married, you have this Five of Wands here. So there could be this worry about whether or not maybe somebody you're involved with, because maybe you feel like you do have a lot of competition. Maybe you're saying, oh, I don't know if this person is going to, I don't know if this is going to stand the test of time. I don't know if I'm going to marry this person. You know what I mean? Like, so there is an element of that here, of worry. If you are already married or in a partnership or not looking for marriage, then there definitely is the idea that there could be some concern about some kind of legal partnership. Perhaps that's why we're concerned about justice over here and judgment over here. There could be some kind of contractual thing that you are very worried about how it's going to come out. So again, take it as it resonates. But with Pyramid, this definitely brings good news eventually. So I feel like there could be a test situation going on, and that ultimately this would be saying that this is a challenge right now, but things are ultimately going to be set to right. Yeah, there's definitely a strong feeling of that here, of things being set to right. So so again, if you're looking for marriage with somebody, and this is somebody who maybe you feel like you have a lot of competition for this person, or maybe there's other people who you feel like might be trying to take your partner away from you or something, and you have this worry about it, this will be saying things will be good in time. I feel like it's just a short-term test. In fact, 2 + 3 on the Pyramid card adds up to 5 as well. We've got 5, 5, 5. So yeah, there's something about a partnership that maybe has you a bit concerned, or even, and again, if not a partnership, it could be a contractual relationship or something of that, some significant relationship of that nature, but things will be good in time. 8th house, this is Scorpio energy, and Scorpio is the energy of transformation. So this has to do with birth and death. This has to do with big milestones in your life. The general flow of change within your life, I feel, connects to this house, at least in a reading. It can also have to do with other people's money. Now you have Queen of Cups with Bast. So these are both very emotional cards. Bast is the happiness card, and Queen of Cups is about, well, it's about love. It's about being loved. It's also about following your intuition, being receptive. I feel like this is telling you that you are flowing into a time where, because especially with this first house where you have all of this love energy, I feel like this is a time where maybe you are going more with your feelings and going more with feelings of joy, socializing with other people. With the Queen of Cups here, there's definitely this sense of, and especially in the 8th house and in the Scorpio house, you may be getting deeply intuitive messages. Maybe you're engaged in some kind of things having to do with psychic development or that kind of work, but nonetheless, your intuition is very, very strong here. And Bast is also a card of intuition. So I feel very strongly that your feelings, just like I said, you're acting with your heart right now. Yeah, your intuition is going to be much stronger than your logic right now. Now, I know you're a Capricorn, so you're an earth sign, you're very grounded, and you tend to be very practical about things. But this feels like a time when your heart is going to, and your intuition is going to tell you more than your head. Okay, 9th house is Sagittarius energy, and Sag has to do with, expansion, Jupiter energy. So long distance travel, higher education, or any kind of education, really. If you're taking a course or getting certified in something, anything having to do with learning that is beyond what we think of as our usual elementary school or primary school learning. So this is, getting beyond that. It's also about deeper thoughts. So it could be about religious institutions. So it can have to do with the institution itself or the actual act of learning, thinking deeply, or expanding your horizons through travel. Sometimes it has to do with legal matters too. And we have fire with the Page of Wands. Okay, so there's strong energy to move ahead here. Fire would definitely have to do with, it can be alchemical in the sense that we are taking things that we are learning about and kind of kind of molding them all into the crucible and you know, seeing what comes out. That came into my mind for some reason. I mean, it's fire energy in a fire house because Sagittarius is fire, so that's certainly very good. And you have more fire with the Page of Wands. Page of Wands usually brings messages, and it does bring new things. It brings excitement, enthusiasm, new plans, and you may be very fired up for something. So maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you are taking a long trip. Or maybe there's just something you're doing that's new, that's going to teach you something new that you've wanted to know. And there's definitely a sense that you're very excited about this. So it's either learning something new, maybe you've had an aha moment in terms of your beliefs. That's possible too. But there's definitely the idea of new plans and something new going on and putting energy into that. So whether this has to do with long distance travel or whether it has to do with education or your beliefs, that's going to vary from person to person, but that's definitely the energy there. Okay, 10th house, this is your own house, Capricorn. This is Saturn ruled, and it has to do with your career, your fame, your reputation, how people see you, what legacy you're leaving for other people. Sometimes this is the house of the father as well. Okay, so you have Buckle of Isis with 7 of Swords. Now this is interesting. So, and especially with respect to the fact that the other house that has to do with, say, your job or career is the 6th house, and you have Justice with the winged disc down here. Now, this suggests to me, okay, Buckle of Isis is growth with a sacrifice. Something has to be given up. It's time to let something go. And what's connected to it is the 7 of Swords. So this is a situation where maybe you either feel sabotaged, manipulated, lied to, or just somebody's not telling you something. It could also be a situation where you feel like you have to negotiate. Like the positive aspect of the 7 of Swords is like diplomacy and negotiation. The negative side of it is people withholding information and trying to manipulate you. So I don't know. You can decide which resonates here. We do have a number 7 here. So we've got the 7 of Swords, and 2 plus 5 is 7. So I don't know if the number 7 is significant or not. I mean, you can take it as it resonates. Actually, you've got the 7 of Cups in the center too. How many other 7s do we have? The Lovers is 6. Just looking through here. You've got 5. You've got a 9. Yeah, you've got 5s and 7s. So to me, yeah, you may be kind of working through different challenges here. Trying to find your footing, trying to stand your ground a little bit. But Buckle of Isis is saying it is definitely time to make a sacrifice or that work you're putting into something, because Capricorn, this is Saturn energy. This is about hard work. In general, you know, you're definitely a very persistent sign. And you have, you know, you're very practical and very persistent in what you do. So this may be saying that the work you are putting into something is going to be rewarded. This may also be suggesting that you need to give something up. So take it as it resonates. But with 7 of Swords, I think there's a situation where you feel like there's either been a sabotage, maybe you feel somebody's been talking behind your back, or maybe you feel like somebody's making plans and doing things, and you know it's again happening behind your back. So you don't have all the information, or maybe you've been blindsided by something. But the fact that you have Justice down here suggests to me that if this is connected to a particular job that you're doing, things will be made right, and it may be a case of that you decide to walk away from this job and walk into something better. So again, it's going to be different for everybody, but take it as it resonates. Okay, 11th house is Aquarius energy, and Aquarius has to do with friendships, with your social networks, dreams, goals, wishes, destiny. We have Knight of Pentacles with air. Okay, now air is, Aquarius is an air sign. So right, just like you had a fire card in the fire house, now you've got a air card in the air house. So that's a good sign. Air can indicate new friendships. It can indicate communications. This is definitely a card of friendliness, of networking. Definitely resonates here with this Bast energy that you have in the 8th house. I feel like you are expanding your networks. You are getting out, maybe spending more time with people. Now you have it with the Knight of Pentacles. So there's your practical energy right there. Knight of Pentacles is about slow and steady, building up something, you know, but it's something that moves gradually. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this will be a knight sitting on a horse, But unlike the other knights in the deck, the other knights are on the horse and the horse is moving. This is the one that's standing still. So this is about taking your time, having patience towards getting towards your wishes. And in the meantime, there's a sense here of expanding your networks and increasing contacts with people, whether this be for business or whether this is just about, being friendly and, just spending more time with your friends, making new friends. All of that's possible here. Okay, 12th house is Pisces energy, and Pisces is has to do with what's hidden. Okay, sometimes they call this the house of like hidden enemies, but this is also a house of intuition. This is a house of working independently. In a spread, I always feel like this has to do with what we may be secretly afraid of or what may be holding us back, whether we're conscious of it or not. And you do have Seth here. So I do feel like that even though we have a lot of this joyful energy here, I do feel like unconsciously, maybe what you've been maybe not showing to people or maybe just kind of putting to the back of your mind is anxiety about something. Anxiety, worry about delays, worries about things not working out. Now, the card that we have with Seth is, we have Osiris. So this may be whether or not you're in control of a situation, whether or not you can trust your judgment on something, whether or not a situation is secure, okay? Because Osiris deals with all of that and as a something that is informing the Seth card. Because Seth never gets pulled by itself. We always want to know what's the nature of the issue here. And Osiris would be telling us it's some kind of an issue around stability. Now, you also have the Three of Cups here, which is interesting because we have all this card of sociability. I find myself looking back at the Five of Wands here. So it could just be that maybe somebody in your social group, or maybe you're worried about a third party. If this does have to do with a relationship, maybe you're worried that, actually, for some of you, this could actually be a worry about a partner. Like you might think, is this partner, there's somebody else in my who I think might be trying to take my partner away from me. Like that definitely, for some of you, that's the issue. You may be worried about a third party. You may be worried about the stability of a relationship. Osiris can indicate a fire sign person. It can be Sag usually. And I also think of it as potentially Aries because I feel like it has strong Emperor energy to it. But I don't know. This is showing up in the house of fear. And the fact that you have Pyramid over here as well, plus Thoth, if there is a situation where you're dating somebody, maybe you've been seriously dating them and you're worried that some new friend or some other person's coming in and is trying to kind of cozy up to your significant other. I feel like this is more of a fear. Even if it's a temptation, I just don't feel like it's going to turn into a reality when I see it in this particular house. I think it's more something you're afraid of, and maybe that's why for some of you, you're like demonstrating, your personality shows that, no, I'm in a good relationship and I'm in love, And again, this is only going to be true for certain people. If that's not a situation for you, then this would be saying that there still may be concerns about a third party, and especially with the Five of Wands, or this could be about somebody coming back around. You do have Judgment over here, so this could be somebody coming back from the past. Maybe you're concerned about that person, and again, I don't know if that person is this fire sign that we see with Osiris, but maybe you feel like there's going to be somebody coming in, maybe who's going to destabilize your control of a situation or something like that. But again, if that is the concern, then again, you have Judgment with Anubis. So Anubis would indicate protection from any kind of situation like that. So I feel like that's more of a fear of something rather than a reality. Overall, you have Sirius with the Seven of Cups. Okay, so Seven of Cups is usually comes up when there's confusion, when we're not seeing a situation for what it is, when we don't know, when something is not, when we think we might be living in an illusion or be delusional, but can also indicate that we have too many options there, and with Sirius, I feel like that might be more the case. Sirius has to do with keeping an open mind, broadening your perspective. This could be a case of taking the rough with the smooth. So if you have been trying to endure something lately, whether it has to do with a relationship or a career thing, this is definitely indicating that you have the resources to take whatever it is and you'll be fine. This has an element of strength to it. But this is also Aquarian energy. So this is about opening your mind, and thinking outside the box on things. But of course, with the Seven of Cups, maybe there's too many possibilities and we're still trying to figure out what's what. So, but Seven of Cups would definitely be, I feel like it's a message to say, definitely try to, see things for what they are. There may be, an illusory nature to something, or something that's not what it appears to be. And, I feel like Sirius would be about, looking at things from a different perspective, because maybe you are, you may be too much in your emotions with this one. Okay, now this is telling you to follow your intuition. This would indicate a clouding of intuition. Okay, so you definitely want to get in touch with your intuitive knowing, which I think is what's going to help you think outside the box. Now, let's just, I'm going to give these a couple of shuffles here. I'm going to do a fairy oracle card for you to kind of sum up this reading. So let's see. So what does Capricorn need to know this week of February 6th through 12th? Okay. Oh, okay. This completely resonates with this. You have Gloomminous Doom, okay? And yeah, Gloomminous Doom is about, it says, it has to do with your attitudes and beliefs. And it's basically saying you need to, your attitudes and beliefs are your own, okay? So I feel like, yeah, with all of this, like Seven of Cups, things, Nine of Swords, the worry here, I feel like it's kind of saying, like, you may, and with this Five of Wands especially, you may be looking at other people and saying, that's interesting too, because the Seven of Cups in certain decks is called the card of projection. So we may be worried about people on the outside, when in fact it's saying that the pessimistic attitudes we have may be our own, okay? So it's saying, we need to accept the fact that maybe we are looking at something in a very negative light. And, this is a card that says, get rid of self-destructive thoughts. And, potentially you're helping others notice it in their thoughts as well. So, yeah. So I feel like, and yeah, even the Seven of Swords up here, there's kind of there's an aura of suspicion and worry in an otherwise very, very good reading. So, yeah. So I don't know. I guess I consider that to be a little bit good news, because if there is something that you've been very worried about, I think this is reassuring you that things are actually fine. It's just our mind's tendency to sabotage things that is really what's getting in the way right now. So I hope this reading helps you for this week, Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, give a thumbs up. Do consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.